Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TechBear channel, and today I've got something a little different, as I usually say here, but specifically, this is going to be a new segment, a new thing that I'm going to do on this channel, and it's going to be TechBear Thinks. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be talking about different situations that may be going on in the community, and extended beyond that as well. There seem to be a lot of issues where people who have had journalistic importance or YouTube importance or some form of fame beyond just being a type of video celebrity have come under fire for saying things that may or may not be anti-Semitic. I'm of course referring to, PewDiePie, which we've already covered in depth on this channel. But specifically now, Colin Moriarty, who used to be one of the co-founders of Kinda Funny Games, has left, and he has resigned. And he says it's of his own accord, and that's fine. I think that's great, but I can't help but feel like that joke he made on Women's Day had a lot to do with it. Simply, it was, hashtag Day Without a Woman. He made a dad joke that was finally some peace and quiet. Now, a lot of people got upset by this because, unfortunately, in today's current climate, you can't say things like that because you're going to get vilified. Do I think it's dumb? Yes, I do. I also understand being sensitive to one's needs or to, the thoughts and the history of various peoples, whether they be women, black, white, Hispanic, Muslims, anybody, right? Because I put everybody on an even playing field, okay? Now, we can go back throughout history and we can look at many of the atrocities that have been committed by men, okay? It's not... I suppose the big problem I have is that it's not just white males who cause problems. You've seen it... You see it all throughout history, and, I'm not discounting anything done by white Caucasians throughout the history books, okay? I'm not disputing that at all, but I feel like today, when we live in a climate where there are so many different walks of people, so much more intermingling of different races and all of that, and especially in America, I just feel like we should all be on the same playing field. And I don't think that hate of any kind should really be tolerated from anybody, whether you're on the left, quote unquote, or on the right, quote unquote. I just, saying, can't we all just get along, isn't too far from the truth. I mean, I feel like people are more belittling and hating on one another, or so I see on Twitter and various other social media outlets, than caring, than doing the things to help people. In a recent interview that Destiny, aka Stephen Bonnell, had with JonTron, he happened to say that the amount of crime that black males exude is disproportionate to white males, okay? Well, of course, look at their environment. Their environment is terrible. And unfortunately, we can make the argument that, oh, look, I had a bad life and I was able to get over it. I mean, hell, I personally have lived homelessness for a couple of years. I know what suffering is like, and statistically speaking, I shouldn't be where I am, but I am anyway. But that doesn't change it for anybody else. That doesn't change it for the young man that grew up without a father. It doesn't change it for those guys, the men that had to look up to people who may not have been the best people to look up to, but what would they know? That's just their environment. And unfortunately, we're not doing anything to help them. We can sit and shit on Black Lives Matter, and we can sit and shit on women, and we can sit and shit on whoever we want, but it's not solving the problem. We're not solving the problem. Now, I don't have a problem with people making jokes about things. Certainly not the kind of joke that Colin Moriarty made. However, I do think that people need to take a step back and understand that people deal with different things in different ways, especially when it comes to humor. I myself have a difficult way of understanding someone else's grief. So if I make a joke about it, not necessarily like joking about somebody's mom dying, but, you know, making amusing at a tragedy, let's say, you know, it isn't because I don't like the person or because I dislike society or anything like that. It's just, sometimes it's the best way to deal with things. I had a teacher once who told me that he knew a homicide detective, and he used to make jokes about the different homicides and things like that. And when he was approached with the question of, you know, how can you act this way? Like, these are horrible things that are happening. He said, I have to joke about it, because if I didn't joke about it, I would cry. You know, the world is a pretty weird place right now. You know, we've made a lot of bounds in the right direction, and I hope everybody thrives and does really well. I do. But I do think that we need to stop the manufactured outrage. I think we need to stop being offended at everything. I think that we need to really think hard about where we want to be in the future. You know, when I'm old, I hope that our generation of children can look back and say, wow, let's not make that mistake. Let's not get angry and upset about everything. That being said, it's not like it isn't okay to call somebody out for being a piece of shit. I don't fly with that either. People who sit around acting like, oh, everything's fine, it's okay, I'm an asshole, right? Just because you proclaim that you're an asshole doesn't make it okay to be one. Try to be a decent person, please, regardless of how you feel about things. You know, that same goes for these, I'm proud to be a bitch. Why? Why can't you just be a good human being and get on with your life? Why do you need so much attention? Like, the world's nuts. The world's nuts. But damn it, I will support free speech. I will support that, regardless of what is coming out of people's mouths. People have not changed in thousands of years. Human beings have been violent, vile, disgusting creatures on this planet for a long time. And I'm not sitting here hating on myself because I'm a human being. I'm just sitting here letting you know that history has a really good way of enlightening you to just how great people have been. It's why I can't understand when people just don't grasp how somebody could do such an awful thing. Well, people have been kind of shitty for a long time. And it's something that every day we're all trying to change. We're trying to make the world a better place. You know, we're trying to do the best that we can. The best that we can to make things better for our kids, to make things better for your kids, to make things better for our elders and everybody else. But when we sit here and get outraged at every little thing, like a dad joke, that stops progress. It just upsets a bunch of people who seem to be unable to control their emotions and separate when, hey, this might offend me, but it's not the end of the world, so maybe I should get on with my life. Anyway, that's all I got for you. If you have anything, please leave me a comment. You know, like the video if you like the video. Dislike the video if you dislike the video. I realized this topic was a little vague, but I just had to get it off my chest, you know? Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have any questions or anything like that, you know where to find me. Right here on the TechBear channel. Thank you for watching.